Hey there and welcome. My name is Pete, and yes, it is finally time. Today we complete Mass Effect 3. The third installment in the Mass Effect trilogy concludes the story of Commander Shepard, and with the recent release of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I think now is a perfect time to start this series after we have successfully completed both Mass Effect 1 and 2 already. And so, yes, we are using the Legendary Edition version of Mass Effect 3 for this, but that should make no noticeable difference compared to the original game. All in all, things will mostly look and sound a bit nicer, and I really like that, the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer has been completely removed from the single-player campaign, while it was previously tied into a core mechanic of the game, which many players, including myself, found pretty annoying. Apart from that, I don't think there is much to explain at this point. We will of course import the save file from our Mass Effect 2 playthrough, and if you want to get back up to speed on the events of Mass Effect 2, then I invite you to rewatch the series that we already completed on it. You can find a link to the first episode on screen right now, as well as down below. However, since that might be a bit of a lengthy endeavor for the moment, I have also just uploaded a quick run-through of Mass Effect Genesis 2, the once again returning interactive comic that recaps all the events leading up to this point in a much more condensed way. So if you want to give that a quick look, another link should now pop up on screen, and of course once again down below. Finally, a few last words before we get started. This here is a completionist channel, so we are not just going to play through the game, no, we are going to thoroughly complete it. That means all main and side missions, all DLC, all conversations. Basically, if you watch this series from start to finish, you will probably get to experience more or less everything the game has to offer. That also includes all available achievements, and there are a lot of those, although a few of them have been slightly altered or even removed for the Legendary Edition. But don't worry, whenever we run into one that has received some changes, I will point that out, and if those changes have resulted in the achievement now being easier or no longer there at all, which is unfortunately the case for a few of them, we will aim for the original requirements so that you can play along at home if you want to, no matter which version of the game you own. And of course, just like in our Mass Effect 1 and 2 series, we will be playing on Insanity difficulty, the hardest difficulty setting in the game, and also a requirement for one of the game's achievements. And I think that concludes the introductions, so let's jump in and start a brand new game. Just real quick, the settings for this one are nothing special. Like I said, the difficulty will be Insanity and we'll be controlling things as much as we can, so leveling up and squad member power use will not be automated. Subtitles and autosaves are active for your and my convenience, hints and action icons are turned off for a bit more immersion, and everyone will be polite and take their helmets off during conversations, a setting that I think was desperately needed. And with that, let's get to it. Like I said, we will import our Commander Shepard straight from Mass Effect 2, who over the course of the previous two games has made the following decisions. More detail on those in the Genesis video or in the respective series. First of all, back in Mass Effect 1 we saved the Ragni Queen on Noveria. So far, that hasn't had any major consequences, but simply because it is explicitly mentioned here, you can be pretty sure that that's going to change. Later during that game, in our showdown with Saren on Virmire, we then sacrificed Ashley Williams in order to rescue Kaidan Alenko, who is therefore not entirely unlikely to make an appearance in this game. Speaking of Virmire, our Krogan ally Rax also survived that mission, so just like in Mass Effect 2, he could be back in some capacity as well. At the end of Mass Effect 1, we then chose to save the Citadel Council, and we also began a romance with Liara. However, with the latter not making a major appearance in Mass Effect 2, we then shifted our romantic interest over to Tali, but we'll have to see what's available to us in the romance department in this game. Also in Mass Effect 2, we saved the work of the Solarian Malon and now have some data that could potentially be used to modify or even cure the Krogan genophage. Later during our adventure, we then ran into some Geth, the heretics, and with the help of our Geth squad member Legion, we rewrote them, strengthening their forces, yes, but perhaps also allowing us to use them as our allies. The game then culminated in the suicide mission, which we completed masterfully with no casualties whatsoever, and during which we decided to destroy the Collector base, much to the displeasure of the leader of Cerberus, the Elusive Man. Now, on top of that, we did of course make quite a few more small and not so small decisions that will have an impact on how Mass Effect 3 ultimately plays out, but for now, these here are arguably the most important ones. So, moving on, the face here is the default and will be accepted without changes. We actually cannot customize it without scratching it altogether. And just like in Mass Effect 1 and 2, we will stick with the soldier class, arguably the most straightforward of the 6 classes, but a very powerful one nonetheless. And that's it. With that, we are finally ready to go, so let's begin the third and final chapter in our adventure.
How bad is it?
Bad. We just lost contact with 2 of our deep space outposts. There's something massive on the long-range scanners.
Is this what Shepard warned us about?
I'd stake my life on it.
How long do we have?
Not long. I sent word. The fleet's immobilizing.
God help us all.
In 2157, humanity discovered it was not alone in the universe. 30 years later, they found a peaceful place among dozens of galactic species. But this idyllic future is overshadowed by a dark past. Reapers, a sentient race of machines responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life every 50,000 years, are about to return. The leaders of the galaxy are paralyzed by indecision, unable to accept the legend of the Reapers as fact. But one soldier has seen the legend come to life, and now the fate of the galaxy depends on him.
Commander.
You're not supposed to call me that anymore, James.
Not supposed to salute you either. We gotta go. The Defense Committee wants to see you.
Sounds important. What's going on?
Couldn't say. Just told me they needed you. Now.
Anderson?
Admiral?
You look good, Shepard. Maybe a little soft around the edges. How are you holding up since being relieved from duty?
It's not so bad once you get used to the hot food and soft beds.
We'll get it sorted out.
What's going on? Why is everyone in such a hurry?
Admiral Hackett's mobilizing the fleets. I'm guessing word's made it to Alliance Command. Something big's headed our way.
The Reapers?
We don't know. Not for certain.
What else could it be?
If I knew that.
Alright, first dialogue choice of the game, and it is one that already gives us morality points. Yes, those are back. Once again, they work a little differently than in the previous game, and their significance has arguably been reduced even further, but for now let's go Paragon, just like we did for the majority of Mass Effect 1 and 2.
You know we're not ready if it is then. Not by a long shot.
Tell that to the Defense Committee.
Unless we're planning to talk the Reapers to death, the committee is a waste of time.
They're just scared. None of them have seen what you've seen. You faced down a Reaper. Hell, you spoke to one, then blew the damn thing up. You've seen how they harvest us, what they plan to do to us. You know more about this enemy than anyone.
That why they grounded me? Took away my ship?
You know that's not true. When you blew up the Batarian relay, hundreds of thousands of Batarians died.
It was that or let the Reapers walk through our back door.
I know that, Shepard. And so does the committee. If it wasn't for that, you'd have been court-martialed and left to rot in the brig.
That and your good word?
Yeah, I trust you, Shepard. And so does the committee.
I'm just a soldier, Anderson. I'm no politician.
I don't need you to be either. I just need you to do whatever the hell it takes to help us stop the Reapers.
They're expecting you to, Admiral.
Good luck in there, Shepard.
Anderson?
Shepard.
Kate?
How'd it go in there, Major?
Okay, I think. Hard to know. I'm just waiting for orders now.
Major?
You hadn't heard?
No, I'm a bit out of the loop these days.
Sorry, sir. Didn't mean to keep you out of the loop.
So, looks like Kaidan is back. He only had a brief appearance in Mass Effect 2, and it seems like he's been promoted. Also, which option we choose here does not really matter, so let's stick with the top.
I'm sure you had your reasons.
Yeah, I suppose I did. Still, it's good to see you.
Admiral,
Come on.
You know the commander?
I used to.
Admiral Anderson. Shepard.
What's the situation?
We were hoping you would tell us.
The reports coming in are unlike anything we've seen. Whole colonies have gone dark. We've lost contact with everything beyond the Soul Relay.
Whatever this is, it's incomprehensibly powerful.
You brought me here to confirm what you already know. The Reapers are here.
Then, how do we stop them?
Stop them? This isn't about strategy or tactics. This is about survival. The Reapers are more advanced than we are. More powerful, more intelligent. They don't fear us. And they'll never take pity on us.
But there must be some way.
Now, second morality choice of the game, and once again we'll go Paragon, although at this point neither of the two options really looks all that promising.
If we're gonna have any chance at surviving this, we have to stand together.
That's it? That's our plan?
Admiral, we've lost contact with Luna Base.
The moon? It couldn't be that close already.
How'd they get past our defenses?
Sir, UK headquarters has a visual.
Why haven't we heard from Admiral Hackett?
What do we do?
The only thing we can. We fight, or we die.
We should get to the Normandy.
Oh my God.
Shepard! Shepard! Come on, get up. Here, take this. We've got to get moving. This is Admiral Anderson. Report in, anyone. Major Alenko, is that you? What's your status? I can't raise the Normandy. You'll have to contact him. We'll meet you at the landing zone. Anderson out. They're massive. Come on, Shepard. Cadence headed to the Normandy. They'll pick us up if we can get to the spaceport. Let's move.
And here we are. For the first time in the game, we have full control over Commander Shepard. And while we can watch a Reaper destroy a city in the background and see a few codex entries unlock on the right side, we are actually going to hop into the upgrade menu now. As a result of importing our character from Mass Effect 2, we start the game at level 30, with most of our old abilities carried over, and with 20 more squad points to spend to unlock additional powers. And we are actually going to use all 20 on Concussive Shot, a rather unimpressive ability in Mass Effect 2, but a pretty powerful one in this game. You can also see that we can customize our ability loadout a bit more compared to Mass Effect 2, where we only had a choice for the final ability evolution. This has now been expanded for the final 3 ranks, allowing for a bit more flexibility. Now we'll start things off by upgrading recharge speed and then force and damage before we make our first choice. Here we are foregoing even more force and damage in favor of an increased impact radius. After all, Concussive Shot is still more of a utility than a damage power. Up next, we could increase the force and damage dealt to frozen targets, which synergizes nicely with cryo ammo, but instead we are once again going for faster recharge speed, because we want to be able to more or less spam this power all the time. With the remaining points, we are then grabbing Amplification at rank 6, which takes Concussive Shot to a whole new level if it's used in combination with ammo powers, and you'll see that in action very soon. And this actually also unlocks the Focused achievement, our first one of the game. And that's all for the moment. We have no more squad points to spend, and Anderson is technically not a part of our squad right now, so let's just quickly set our hotkeys here, activate Incendiary Ammo, which is already upgraded to level 4, and then we can get moving.
Let's move! Look out! How do you stop something so powerful?
And for the first few moments here, there is not much else to do than to follow Anderson, so let's do exactly that.
Take a running jump. It's farther than it looks. Come on, let's go.
And just a quick note, even though it may look like it, there is no way to fall off of the building here, so for the time being we are completely safe, unlike that pilot over there.
Come on. We'll have to go this way.
The city that we're in is Vancouver in Canada, by the way, since that has not yet been mentioned.
Clear, let's go. Major, you read me. I'm patching in Shepard.
We're almost to the Normandy. I've got Lieutenant Vega with you. We're taking heavy fire.
We're about 5 minutes out. Husks! Take them out!
Right, first combat encounter with some Husks here. But even on Insanity difficulty, they are easy to take out.
Come on, we gotta move!
As we go down the ladder, a few more Husks will appear, and with these ones we actually want to hold our fire and take them out in a more direct way, in order to collect the first 4 of 100 melee kills for the Bruiser achievement.
Have to take these things out the old-fashioned way.
Luckily, at this point, 1 hit is still enough for the kill.
Don't let them grab you!
Okay, so into the building we go, and we want to go through the door on the right.
Gotta find a way out of here.
Here we can grab a medkit for 300 experience points, but no actual medicine since we're still stocked full.
Watch it!
And by holding down the melee attack button, we can execute a powerful Omniblade attack for melee kill number 5.
Through this way.
Hey. It's okay.
Everyone's dying.
So we have seen this child before at the beginning of the game, and now we have a chance to obtain some morality points, and since this is only a child, let's go with the nicer Paragon approach.
Come here. I need to get you someplace safe. Take my hand.
You can't help me.
Shepard! In here. goddamn mess. Every minute these machines are here, thousands of innocent people die. I won't be responsible.
And we can grab 2 more Paragon points here with Captain Anderson. All previous decisions also always yielded 2 points each, and almost all future ones will do so as well.
It's hard enough fighting a war, but it's worse knowing no matter how hard you try, you can't save them all.
Exactly. It's so fast. I thought we'd have more time.
We knew they were coming.
And they still just cut through our defenses. We need to go to the Citadel. Talk to the Council.
The Citadel? The fight's here.
It'll be everywhere soon enough. You said it yourself. The Reapers will destroy everything if we don't stop them. The Council has to help us. You sure about that? No, but you're a Council Spectre. That has to count for something. Gotcha!
Thanks. I owe you one.
More than one. Grab some ammo. Reload, let's keep moving.
And back out we go, stocked full on ammunition, and believe me, we are going to need it.
Major Alenko, we're inside of the spaceport. ETA 3 minutes.
Made it to the Normandy. Taking heavy fire. Oh god. They're gonna take down the dreadnought. Evasive maneuver.
Major, Kaidan! Damn it, they're in trouble.
And yes, that ship over there is the one that Kaidan mentioned, and he also said that it's about to go down, so we should probably brace ourselves.
Normandy, we're going to reroute. Do you copy? Normandy, come in. Friendlies.
You two all right?
Get down, they'll see you.
Get in cover.
Yeah, well, that is the one thing that we are not going to do just yet. Instead, we are going to use our concussive shot to unlock a few achievements. You see, the cannibals here will respawn indefinitely until we follow the on-screen prompt and actually take some cover. That means we can obtain an unlimited amount of kills here, at least in theory. In practice, one will run out of ammunition rather quickly, and just shooting at the enemies is not the best approach anyway. At least on Insanity difficulty, they are going to kill you much faster than you are going to kill them. Unless, of course, you're not even trying to shoot at them, and instead just spam concussive shot. Not only does concussive shot fire a homing projectile that will find its way to the target even if we have no straight line of fire, no, the really cool thing about concussive shot with the amplification upgrade at rank 6 is that it can detonate fire explosions. What that means is that if concussive shot hits an enemy that's already on fire, we are going to have those large explosions that have already started happening, as you can see. And since we are using concussive shot in conjunction with incendiary ammo, the ability can also set enemies on fire all by itself. That means we do not have to expend a single round of ammunition and can just keep shooting concussive shots, knocking enemies down, setting them on fire and triggering fire explosions, which themselves then also set nearby enemies on fire, and so the cycle continues. And we are actually going to do that for quite some time now, more specifically until we have killed 2,000 enemies. Unfortunately, as far as I know, using this small exploit is the only way of obtaining the Veteran achievement in one single playthrough, keeping in mind that prior to the release of the Legendary Edition, the requirement was actually 5,000 kills. Back then, however, kills made in the game's multiplayer mode were also counted, I think. In the Legendary Edition, the 2,000 kills are now registered over the course of all 3 games, so if you play them all in a row, the achievement should only take 1 trilogy playthrough, but as it happens, we have already completed the first 2 games before the Legendary Edition came out, so now we'll have to get them all in this game. Now, if you are, for some reason, planning to do the same, I can only recommend setting the game's difficulty to narrative, as that should speed things up ever so slightly and drastically reduce the risk of dying in the process. Still, even on Insanity difficulty, I was averaging 1 kill every 3 to 4 seconds with this method, so for the full 2000 it will probably take somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours. I was actually done after about 1 hour and 55 minutes, obviously I didn't record all of that, but of course the most important part, the achievement finally unlocked. If we were to now jump into the achievements menu, which I did after recording the gameplay footage for this episode, then we can see that a bunch of achievements have been unlocked. First, the Combined Arms achievement, because every fire explosion counts as a combo attack, just like the biotic combos that we already know from Mass Effect 2. The Focused achievement we already talked about, so let's jump ahead to Sky High, because concussive shot impacts with a bit of force enough to lift enemies off the ground, no biotics needed. And as you saw, we also set plenty of enemies on fire, resulting in the Pyromaniac achievement. Finally then, we have the elusive trio of Recruit, Soldier and Veteran for 250, 1000 and 2000 kills respectively. And again, apart from Veteran, all of these achievements would have unlocked during our natural progression through the game anyway, so it's not like we used an exploit to gain something that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten. The main advantage is really that I now don't have to keep track of all this stuff every episode. So rest assured, all of these achievements would have popped up sooner or later anyway. Getting them this way does not give us any sort of advantage. With that being said, we can now finally do what Anderson asked of us and get into cover, from where we can then finish the fight.
Nice shot. Finish them all.
As soon as we take cover, the enemies will stop spawning, so wrapping things up is quickly done.
Shepard, over here. What happened here?
Our gunship was shot down. We barely made it.
You have a radio? We tried to contact our ship.
No. There's one in the gunship, but it's gonna be crawling with those things.
Stay here, son. We'll get you out of here. Come on. Let's get to that gunship.
So it's pretty clear what we have to do now. However, as we make our way over to the crash site, a second gunship passes by overhead, chased by some sort of Reaper creature. Luckily, it's busy with the ship, so we can obtain a few more XP from the medkit over here.
What the hell are those things?
And then go into combat once more. As you may have noticed, Anderson has actually become a fully usable squad member at this point, but for this fight we are not going to need him that much. Once again, we are fighting a group of cannibals in front of the gunship, however, the first batch is quickly taken out. Apart from simply eliminating them, our goal for this fight is also to obtain one more melee kill, so while we clear the battlefield, we want to make sure to keep at least one cannibal alive. And indeed, we seem to be down to the last one, and a well-timed concussive shot from Anderson can knock it down while we go for the heavy melee. And unfortunately that didn't quite do it, but the regular punch does, so we're up to 6 melee kills now and have reached the radio.
Shepard, over here! I found a radio!
And we have found the M8 Avenger assault rifle, which we don't actually have to pick up at this point. At the end of the conversation, Shepard will equip it either way.
Normandy, this is Anderson. Do you read?
Admiral, what's your location?
By a downed gunship in the harbor. I'm activating its distress beacon. Send support. We've got wounded down here. Major! Damn it! I lost the signal.
Let's hope that beacon does its job.
And fast. We've got company.
Alright, our objective is now to just hold our position, and while we do that, let's make life a little easier for us by upgrading Captain Anderson. We have 29 squad points to spend on him, and our first priority is to also max out his concussive shot in the exact same way that we did for Shepard, so we are choosing the radius, recharge speed and amplification upgrades at rank 4, 5 and 6. To get the most out of amplification, we also want to unlock incendiary ammo, and we have enough points for the first 3 ranks here. That leaves us with 3 more points that we can use to unlock the first 2 ranks of Alliance Admiral, giving Anderson a 30% bonus to health, shields and weapon damage. And with that, we can now hold the line. There are actually 2 ways to win this encounter, either by defeating all waves of enemies or by running out of ammo. Generally, the latter is the quicker solution, so we are going to fire our weapons this time and not only use concussive shot. While we're at it, let's quickly also talk about the cannibals, who are named after the fact that they can actually feast on other fallen cannibals. Doing so heals them and gives them an additional layer of armor, so it is definitely something to avoid. And luckily, with incendiary ammo equipped, dead cannibals will immediately have their corpses burned, so their comrades cannot use them to replenish themselves, which gives us a decent advantage here.
Hope they get there soon. You and me both.
Additionally, these cannibals that we encounter early in the game are actually a little weaker than their regular counterparts. I won't spoil why here, we'll find that out soon enough. You may have also seen us lose some health there a few moments ago, which goes to show that yes, starting at level 30 does give us an advantage ability-wise, but on Insanity, enemies are still able to kill us extremely quickly, so even this opening mission is far from a walk in the park. By the way, our health bar now no longer fully regenerates, instead it is divided into 5 sections, and whenever we lose health, the bar only fills up to the next section.
There's more of them.
And now that we have run out of ammo for both of our guns, let's see what happens next.
Cavalry's here, gentlemen.
About time.
Let's go.
Welcome aboard, Shepard.
Thanks.
Shepard!
Come on.
I'm not going. You saw those men back there. There's a million more like them, and they need a leader.
Alright, one final morality choice here, and once again we are going with the Paragon option, in the hopes that maybe we can convince Anderson to change his mind.
We're in this fight together, Anderson.
It's a fight we can't win. Not without help. We need every species and all their ships to even have a chance at defeating the Reapers. Talk to the Council. Convince them to help us.
What if they won't listen?
Then make them listen. Now go! That's an order.
I don't take orders from you anymore, remember?
Consider yourself reinstated, Commander. You know what you have to do.
I'll be back for you, and I'll bring every fleet I can. Good luck.
You too, Shepard.
Okay, and I think we'll end it there for this first episode. We have escaped Earth and unlocked another achievement at the end there, so with the prologue completed, let's make the cut for today. As always, if you enjoyed the video, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and if you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.